As a public defender, Judge Karen fought for her client's rights. She was elected to the bench because she believes in doing the right thing.
I'm very passionate about helping people, period. Sometimes life pulls you from up here to down here to teach you a lesson. And you're in a valley right now. And there are lessons in this valley. I hope you learn from them.
Objective, independent justice.
You can always turn your life around. If you keep walking, you can overcome whatever circumstances you're facing.
This is Supreme Justice with Judge Karen. Jason Walters is suing his ex-girlfriend, Jennifer Leo, in the amount of $1,800. Mr. Walters claims Ms. Leo purchased items on his credit card that he did not find attractive on her. Ms. Leo claims the plaintiff has a weird obsession with his other ex-girlfriend, and he was just upset that she wouldn't dress like her.
All right, Mr. Walter, Ms. Leo, I've read your pleadings. You're suing for $1,800 for clothes the defendant bought, clothes and other items, actually, that the defendant bought with your credit card. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and so how did you meet the plaintiff, ma'am?
Jordan and I met at a charity gala. I was there with a friend. It's not normally the sort of thing that I usually go to, so I was a little uncomfortable. I was wearing one of her gowns, actually, that she let me borrow.
And so you were attracted to him?
I was, yeah. I saw him from across the room, and I just thought, wow, that guy is way out of my league. There's no way that he would be interested in someone like me.
Really? No, you should never feel that way about any man. The question is whether or not he's good enough for you. So you already started out on the wrong foot there. I couldn't even imagine that thought. I'm out of my league. It could be Prince Charles. I don't care who it is. Never out of my league. So what did you think when you saw her?
Your Honor, she looked really nice. She was wearing a very pretty dress. Her hair was done really nice. She had good makeup, good posture. But I just went through a really bad breakup with my ex, and I wasn't really looking for a relationship at the time.
Okay, so then how did this relationship get started then?
Relationship started because a mutual friend actually introduced her to me.
At that event?
At the event, correct.
Okay.
And we started talking, and she seemed like a really cool person, so I exchanged numbers with her, and then we went on our first date after a while, and we started dating from there. Okay.
So you liked him back then?
I did, yeah. I thought he was very charismatic and very handsome, obviously. So
he's your type?
Well, actually, I usually go, honestly, I've dated a lot of losers, so I was kind of, honestly, I was taking a break myself at the time when I met him.
So you thought maybe this was a step up from your norm?
I did, yes. I thought that this was going to be a great new thing for me.
So what do you do for a living?
I'm a high-end art dealer, ma'am. That for my work, I tend to go to a lot of art galleries, so that's why I was there for the
so you go to a lot of art openings, and people are always dressed so well at those events. I used to be on a museum board, so I understand. And so you started taking her out to the museums and other events?
Yeah, we started going to tons of events. She was looking good, but after a while of us starting to dating, she kind of started letting herself go.
What do you mean she was letting herself go?
Well, for example, we were going to an event where it was a required black and white outfit, and she decided to show up in something that wasn't even close to the dress code. And it was embarrassing for me.
What color did you wear?
Gray. You know, not even. I thought that it would be. I thought it was appropriate.
Did you stand out like a sore thumb, like everybody else had on black and white, and you were the gray?
No, I didn't think so. He didn't say anything at the time.
But did you feel it as a woman that I'm in the event and everybody's wearing black and white?
I'm a barista. I'm just studying to get my real estate.
You're a what?
I'm a barista. I work at a coffee shop.
Oh, okay.
I'm studying to get my real estate license, so I don't really go to a lot of any of these fancy events ever. I actually, honestly, like I don't spend a lot of money on clothes, to be honest.
Right. But it seems like he was taking you to a lot of these places.
Well, when he met me, I told him exactly what I did for a living.
Yeah, but you're going to all the places. My question is, did you feel out of place when you would go to these places?
Absolutely, yes, I did.
So if you knew it was a black and white event, why would you show up in gray?
I've dated a lot of losers in my day, but this man absolutely takes the cake as the most manipulative person I have ever met. And he told me that he actually picked out the clothes himself.
Oh, he picked out your clothes?
Yes, he did. He said that I was to go to this particular department store and that he would give me a card because he knew I didn't have a lot of money.
Well, did she have money or clothes?
No, she didn't.
She couldn't dress the way you're dressed now.
No, she can't.
There's no way.
Right. Okay, so he said, let me go to department store, whatever, and I have a card and you could use it.
Right.
Is that right?
And I got there, and they said that he had called ahead and had picked out these outfits for me as things that he likes, that he would want me to wear.
Okay, so you bought those things?
Absolutely. I did exactly what he said.
Is it true you picked out the stuff for her?
Your Honor, it is. But the problem is I sent her to that store with a department card to shop. I said, go ahead and keep the card to shop for outfits for the events. What I was annoyed with...
Oh, so you're saying just hold on to this card so anytime we have events coming up, you can use the card.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's not bad. That's not bad right there.
I wanted her to feel always comfortable. I went to an event one time where her dress was gray.
Right.
And my boss said, is that your girl? And yes, I said it was. But the problem is she was now out of place. He recognizes her. I wanted her to be a star there, but now she's standing out. She's the one that's different.
Yeah, but when you picked her up to go to that event, you should have seen the way she looked.
I didn't pick her up, Your Honor. She just met you there. She showed up because I was already there for work.
Yeah, but you notice she doesn't know how to dress.
That's why I sent her to the store.
That you would say, listen, I need to see what you're going to wear tonight before you go.
That's why I sent her to the store. The event we were hosting, I was honored for my job for promotion.
Right.
And I called her saying...
So what was this horrible outfit she had on? Nobody brought me pictures, right?
No.
Of course you did. What was this horrible outfit she was wearing?
Well, the outfit was to represent a new modern piece. It was supposed to be very elegant, but have a slight edge to it. And she showed up with something that would kind of look like she just got done with a run. And
like a jogging suit?
Yes, and I have right here where I told her to go to the department store and get a certain type of outfit, and said she did buy those, but she also bought running shoes. She also bought running pants. She bought stuff for herself, not what I told her the card's for.
It's black tie, make it sexy. And you came in a running suit?
No, well, no, ma'am. No, when he gave me the card, he said, by the way, if there's anything else that you need,
go ahead and
just use the card whenever.
That's not true.
And I said, are you sure? Like, are you sure that, like, I think you'll probably
wait a second. You told me you said keep the card for other stuff.
I said keep the card for other stuff when we go to events. The card is for her to get clothes for the event so she doesn't feel comfortable. It's not her own piggy bank to go get a little barista coffee here or go buy a little yoga pants here. It's for events, specifically for work.
Coming up on Supreme Justice.
Well, I understood from your pleas, you ended up going back with your other girlfriend.
No, ma'am.
Well, he was back with her for one night, if you understand.
And later.
He was only in the fourth game when Coach White decided that he had a concussion after an accident, even though the doctor verified that he did not.
Supreme Justice is back with the case of Jason Walters, who is suing his ex-girlfriend Jennifer Leo for $1,800.
So how long have you guys been dating?
We've been together for 8 months, ma'am.
For 8 months, okay. And how many events did you go to with him in the 8 months?
Oh,
about 14, ma'am.
Well, about 14 events?
Yes.
And how was she dressing in these 14 events?
Some of them in the beginning, she looked nice. And the thing was, I wanted her to feel comfortable with herself.
Are you sure you wanted her to feel comfortable or you wanted her to make you look good? Because it sounds like you wanted her to make you look good.
It wasn't really about me. It was making her feel comfortable. When I'd sit next to her and stand next to her, I would then be stared at. My clients are around me. They need to respect me and respect who's next to me.
It was about you, honey. It was about you. I'm looking at the bill. Black sequin dress. That's not your style, is it?
No, it really isn't.
Right. Mid-rise jeans. That you? Satin cocktail dress.
That's
all for him, right? And this watch. Not a Timex. That was because of him, right?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
So all these things you were getting was because of him. You had to go down to the store and pick out these things for him.
Absolutely.
And while you were there, you got a pair of Nike running shoes. Right? That's for you. And the New Balance shoes. That's you, and the running pants, right? You should get something that you like to wear, right? Always buying the stuff you wanted.
Yes, and he said as I said, when he gave me the card, he said if there's anything else I need, because he knew I didn't make a lot of money at my job, that I should go ahead and get it.
Okay. So how did your relationship end?
About 3 months ago, we were at his place, and we had been drinking that evening, and he had fallen asleep, and I heard a phone buzzing. A cell phone buzzing, and I thought it was mine, so I picked it up. And on the caller ID was a photo of his ex-girlfriend. And it really creeped me out because she looked exactly like me.
Oh, really?
The same hair that he had asked me. By the way, he asked me to change my hair color. I'm not naturally a brunette. I have my
So you dyed your hair for him?
I did, because he said that it would look more professional and classier for these events that he wanted to go to.
So she looks a lot like your ex-girlfriend.
Yes, there are similarities.
Especially if you dyed her hair dark.
I never asked her to do that. She actually was asking me what I find attractive. And I was raised to be very straightforward and very blunt. And I told her, like, I like dark features, I like dark hair. And 2 weeks later, she showed up and said, surprise. And she looked beautiful.
But, Your Honor, that's not how he said it, though. Like he would make these little negative comments, like, wow, you know, like, I think this hair color would be really attractive on you. I mean, you're smart, but you'd be a lot more attractive and a lot prettier if you did your hair differently this way.
Well, I understood from your pleas, you ended up going back with your other girlfriend.
Yeah, it was the woman I was with for 4 years, and I thought I was going to marry.
Right, so y'all back together now?
No, ma'am.
Well, he was back with her for one night,
right?
If you understand.
Okay, so that's why you broke up with him?
Yes, ma'am.
But you gave her that card?
I did, ma'am.
You said, go out there, get you some nice things that would look good at my event. Well, hey, she thought gray looked good in a black and white event. Maybe Nike pumps do too. New Balance shoes do too. So, you know, you gave her carte blanche and she took it. Judgment for the defendant. Good luck to you.
Judge Karen has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
Jordan, I'm not just some doll that you can play dress up with. The judge was right. I'm perfect who I am without you.
Jen, you know you promised to pay me back for that money. At least you learned something from me.
Coming up.
He was only in the 4th game when Coach White decided that he had a concussion after an accident, even though the doctor verified that he did not.
Secretary Doris Smith is suing Coach Greg White in the amount of $387.33. Ms. Smith claims Coach White benched her son for half of the football season. Coach White claims the plaintiff's son had a concussion and he didn't want to risk the child's health.
Ms. Smith, you are suing on behalf of your son, Mr. Gregory White, for intentional infliction of emotional distress on your child. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm suing him for benching my son during the season. He was only in the 4th game when Coach White decided that he had a concussion after an accident, even though the doctor verified that he did not. And so we were asking for reimbursement of his gear because it costs so much, and right now it's difficult with finances. So
Well, how much was his gear?
$387.
This is an elementary school football team?
It's a Pop Warner team.
What is that?
It's a kids team. And it's before they go off into middle school, high school.
Okay, all right. So how did, what's your name, son?
Gerald.
How did Gerald get to be on the team?
Actually, Mrs. Smith brought Gerald through, and he was exceptional. We went through our trials process that we do every season.
And how old is he?
He is 10.
Gerald, so what position did you play?
A running back.
A running back. So you're fast?
Very fast.
Yeah, you're the best among them, huh? Okay, so was he playing in every game?
Yeah, Gerald actually was, he's an amazing athlete.
Really?
We put him on the team.
Do you see a future for him?
Yeah, I actually do.
All right, so how did we get here?
Well, what happened was, it's better, actually, we created a still to show the information, our staff.
Okay.
Would it be okay to give a copy to your bailiff?
Okay, is this something that we're going to see on the plasma?
Yes, it can be something you can see on the plaza here.
Okay. This was already provided then, Shane?
Yes. Actually, it would be this one, man.
So what is it that I'm looking at there?
So we're looking at actually the injury that occurred on the field. Gerald is an exceptional running back, and we were running one of our power sweep plays. What happened is he got a horse collar tackle, which an opponent comes up and they grab you by the collar, and you kind of fall back. It could be nasty, but he was okay. Unfortunately, a second player smacked him helmet to helmet,
I see.
which caused his concussion injury that happened.
So this last still is what?
The last still is he was pretty shooken up, and we see him on the gurney, but we asked a couple of questions. Actually, I put my hand in his face, and he told me to please get my hand out his face, and we both laughed. So we knew he was pretty much okay.
Coming up.
I know how much pressure and anxiety this has caused. Him watching him at practice to make sure that he's okay, and the doctor cleared him. The doctor cleared him.
I don't know if I believe that.
Okay.
You haven't shown me any proof of that.
Supreme Justice is back with the case of Doris Smith, who is suing Greg White for benching her son for half of the football season.
And so what happened after this incident?
What we do is when we have our practices, kids that are injured, we like to take notes and see what's going on. We want to make sure that they're, that
he
they're
wasn't diagnosed with any type of concussion or whatever.
Well, the results that came back, pretty good. We
Right.
still haven't received any paperwork.
Oh, you never did get anything from the hospital?
So what I did is...
Mom, show me what they gave you at the hospital.
I went to the urgent care.
What did they give you?
We ran the physicals and the mental, and it was great.
Let me see what they gave you.
They did not give me at that moment. They were going to fax it to me. And
Well, this was almost 2 months ago.
Exactly.
Right, and I think that maybe the urgent care is backed up.
You don't have any reports?
No, and I think that there must be a problem. And being a secretary, I can completely probably back this up that there was a problem with those forms, and I agree. I think
Did you really take him to urgent care?
I did.
Going back to what did you decide to do?
Well, I mean, our staff tries to be as cautious as possible. We know these injuries can prolong.
Right.
And
well, how soon did he come back to practice or whatever after this injury?
Well, he came back on our first Monday. That we started
how many
on practice.
days later is this now?
Probably over past the weekend, so I would say about a couple of days, 3 days.
Okay.
Our
All right.
games at
and
the
you
end
made
of the
a
week.
decision, what, based on?
Well, basically, we took a couple of notes here. And this
Are
is
those your notes?
This is a note that I take. This is our journey, our journal.
And what did you note?
Basically, I noticed 20 minutes or 30 minutes into practice, I noticed that Gerald's route running and his ability to apply some directions gave him, they just weren't sharp as they were.
He wasn't the same.
He wasn't the same. He was a little sluggish.
Okay. And what else did you know?
Well, part of me just thought I wasn't going to do it. I like to give every kid a chance.
So based on that, you decided to bench him for the rest of the season?
Well, it was serious because when we were in the huddle, he seemed to be lost. So when he came out of the huddle,
Your
he
Honor,
didn't follow the plays. He also dropped the ball.
I have to add to this.
Were you there?
Were
you there Monday?
Not on practice.
Were you there Monday?
I was not there on Monday, but I know how much pressure and anxiety this has caused. Him watching him at practice to make sure that he's okay, and the doctor cleared him. Okay. The doctor cleared him.
I don't know if I believe that.
Okay.
You haven't shown me any proof of that.
Judge Karen's verdict when Supreme Justice returns.
You pay for your child to be in a sport. Your child got injured. You could later sue this man if something were to happen to your child. He's the coach. He gets to make a decision about who plays and who doesn't play. And just because Gerald doesn't get to play, you want to take the ball and go home. It ain't going to happen like that. Judgment for the defendant. Good luck.
Judge Karen has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case has been dismissed.
I'm sorry for your son's injury. I wish him the best.
I'm disappointed for my son's sake, but he'll play football somewhere else.